And then it makes you look cross-eyed.
Oh God. Okay. So
hey, welcome to EPS ParaTalk. I'm Robert, and on the far side we have
I'm Janie,
and we have our special guest.
Hi, Kimberly. How are you?
And Kimberly, you're with what team? What is your team?
Angels and Ghosts.
So we're doing some networking with Kimberly, which has been fantastic.
and friend making.
Yes.
I have a new friend, guys. Rob can't pick on me anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not sure what's happening with that. She's actually being a friend to somebody. That's
I like her.
Amazing. I like you too.
I like her.
Too.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Don't. All right, let's start this out right, okay? This is seeming awful lopsided already, okay? So
No, we're finally even in the odds. Before it was just me with you guys. Now it's me
Yes.
and Kim.
I love it.
You guys.
Now it's even.
wow.
That's right.
Sorry.
I love it.
Got some people jumping on. Amber, thank you for jumping on.
Hi, Amber.
Anybody that comes on, if you would, just say hi so we can give you a personal shout out. We absolutely love to do that. Gina.
Hi, Gina.
Hello.
Sean is in the background. He's not down here yet. He's probably finding a nice warm
Hi,
couch.
Jeremy.
Is he on the couch upstairs?
No,
he's overdue.
He went out to let the dogs out to use the restroom. He's overdue, yeah.
Jeremy York. Actually, Jeremy, after the show, if you get a chance, I do need to hit you up. I got a couple of questions about what Janie's picked up on so far. So
sorry, Jeremy. I know he tried to scare the crap out of you last time, but after he brought your name up and yeah, he'll talk to you. Sorry.
That's got to be Shay.
Hi, Shay.
Oh, that's too funny.
That's my girlfriend. She's a sweetheart.
Use the broom on route. Thank you very much. Y'all are so sweet. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Jeremy will
You got
back me
this.
up. He's always good for it.
Hey,
got Freddie
Freddie.
jumping on. So,
We saw Freddie last night for a little bit.
Yep. We were over at the KOA, doing a casual out there. And for the most part, it was actually trying to get some time to spend with Kimberly to
Right.
It was very cool.
kind of get some ideas. And, it's very important, besides doing the investigation, I feel it is,
Oh yeah.
when you can actually bounce ideas off of one
Oh,
another. You're not
absolutely.
in the
Fun.
field.
Yeah.
And you can actually talk in a casual manner and trade
Absolutely.
your experiences and what you think.
Yep.
I had so much fun with you guys. They were like playing all kinds of clips for me, EVPs, and all kinds of crazy stuff I asked. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you got to be
Been a
careful
blast.
asking if we have any audio because I just don't stop. It was just like,
It was amazing.
let's see, our morning ended around what time?
6:30.
Yeah. So we
That was for them. Sean and I are old. We came
Yeah.
home early.
It was a late win. That's why I look so tired, but it was a good win. It's okay.
It was fun though.
Oh, it was
fun.
fun.
It was a blast. I mean, it was fortunate because they were calling for quite a bit of rain. They were calling for heavy winds. We did get the winds, but the rain did kind of blow right on by for the most part. So
Yeah,
they
a few
really did
sprinkles and that was
nasty.
about it. Yeah.
Got lucky.
Got real lucky on that.
The wind was a nice touch.
We actually were thinking about going live last night, but because there was so much door banging and just all kinds of sounds
so
that
scary.
we have to go ahead and put it off to the wind because it was blowing so hard. We
Right.
really couldn't. You would have heard so many, and everybody, it's just kind of like
Constant.
everybody been like, "Oh, I heard that." I heard that."
Right.
Yeah.
And normally I would think that's great, but it was just and how loud it was. I mean, there was
Yeah.
a lot of loud bangs that were.
This one door just kept,
But
it was so
it just
random,
goes to show
though.
you how
So
creepy
random.
and how real
Oh my
some common things can feel to
Yes.
people when you know it wasn't paranormal.
Yes.
It was the
gosh.
wind.
Exactly.
But someone who was really, really afraid,
Oh, they
Oh,
would
yeah.
have been horrified.
it
last
would have
night.
been like, oh
And the
my God, I
timing
know
of
there
it.
was something there trying to hurt me. It was this noise and that
Yes.
noise. But when you're a little bit more knowledgeable about the paranormal, you automatically know how to debunk things when certain
Amen.
things are happening in the
You would
atmosphere.
hope people would, but I mean, we're
Yeah.
still seeing too many people jumping to their own conclusion. So.
Exactly.
I will say that one time though, the door didn't slam closed. We were walking down the hallway, getting ready, I think, to go back upstairs, and we heard it go. That was a little bit off.
It was that
like,
perfect, that squeaky door sound.
Yeah,
that
it only
perfect scare the
happened
britches
once.
off of you.
And we were like, yeah, I don't know if that was the wind, but it was cool.
Well, we did hear some dragging sounds. So there's
Oh,
things
yeah.
that there's nothing that we could have because
Right.
it was in there,
Right.
and we knew it. And it was, it's one thing to have a door that slams, but when you get something that's
It was.
Moves really slow, and the wind's blowing hard
Right.
enough to push it hard.
It just didn't make sense.
Right,
Like,
right.
and we
we
weren't
knew what
right
the
there in
leaves were
front of it.
outside.
Yes.
So
we were able to
Right.
debunk all that. But
Yeah.
We knew it was
Man.
inside.
We knew what the smell was. Freddie was there.
Oh,
Hi,
dang.
Freddie.
Ouch.
I told him I was going to get him.
Ouch.
Oh, bye, Jeremy.
I will, Jeremy. I will definitely go ahead and I'll hit you up in a little bit. I definitely appreciate that. Last week we were putting Jeremy on the spot, so
God bless Jeremy.
it's the way it kind of works, kind of get used to it after a while. When we've got up here, lots of trucks fixing power lines, watching transformers blow up.
Oh, wow.
Not good.
That's
good.
not
Laura,
good at
thanks
all.
for being on. Appreciate that.
Hi, Laura.
Hello.
Anybody, if you get a chance, we definitely appreciate anybody that shares. We always appreciate anybody that shares
Please
it out.
share, comment, like.
Just for anybody who comes on, anybody that's new to it, look, this conversation is based on our opinions, and you're welcome to have your own opinions. And you do not have to agree with everything we say. It's perfectly fine. For those that are looking for an avenue to find realistic information, you're going to find our information is extremely realistic. It's what we have learned from the field, and we're always learning. So we're not trying to say that we know everything. That's the last thing we're going to be saying. We have Janie on the far end, who is our team medium. She's phenomenal, extremely modest, not really any filters on there, and she will call it like it is, and it's
a good thing.
Let me hit one thing for you in your own personal experience, and I ask you this every once in a while because I just want to put it out there. Contacting somebody on the other side, is that like a 1-900 number that you
I
just get
wish.
anybody?
I wish. I'd have
You
my
just
mom
go,
and dad
"Hey."
here every day.
Oh.
I wish. No, it doesn't work that way. It's just like real life. If somebody has something to say to you, they'll pick up the phone and call you or text you. If they don't, they won't. Same on the other side. They're not going to use their energy to let you know something or tell you something if it's not important or if they don't feel like you need it. You know what I mean?
Is it Chantel that I'm seeing part of the name up
Yes.
there? Okay.
Chantal. I'm sorry if I mutilated your name, sweetie. But hello.
Better you than me.
Hi.
Thanks so much for jumping on with us. Love the fact you guys hang out with us. This is very interactive, so you're welcome to ask questions anytime we do the lives.
With respect.
With
With respect.
respectful.
As long as you're respectful, you can ask whatever you want and we'll answer to the best of our ability. If you're not disrespectful, you're going to be booted.
If you are disrespectful.
We ain't putting up with none of that today. It's Sunday.
That's right. We're tired, right?
That's right. Even when I ain't
Yeah.
tired, I ain't putting up with none of that. I get enough of that.
Anybody that has a paranormal team or you have a paranormal event, anytime we do a live, again, this is all about networking too. So you're more than welcome to put up your team link on,
Yep,
on our
absolutely.
page right now. You can
You
put
can
it,
share
type it
your
in
link
there,
here.
just so everybody else knows what's going on. It's great to get out. Networking is huge in this field by far. And again, when we can hook up with another team and we can kind of trade
And you
ideas.
can always learn something
There you
from
go.
different teams.
Yes.
Always.
That's the best
You
part.
have never done this long enough to not be able to learn things from other teams.
She's from
Greetings from
South
South
Africa.
Africa. That's
Whoa.
awesome.
Oh, wow.
That is
Thank you
cool.
so much.
That is great.
I want to go there.
Well, welcome, sweetheart.
Yeah, there's a lot of, where would you want to go? And you guys too, if you guys could go anywhere to anywhere, obviously we know it costs and we know COVID and all the other, if you could go anywhere, what would be your bucket list?
Hi, Chrissy.
If you could go out somewhere to actually investigate? And I wanted to hear you guys, let me know what you guys think as well. Janie?
Well, we all know if we kept
Lizzie
it,
Borden,
if
if
we
it's in the
kept
United
it in the
States,
United
right.
States, it'd be Lizzie Borden. And if we
Did
didn't
Lizzie
keep
Borden
it,
do it?
no.
Okay.
And if we didn't keep it in the United States,
Good to
I would
know.
want to investigate the Island of the Dolls.
Island of the Dolls?
Oh, yes.
That's
That's a good one.
Not
Oh my
because of
gosh.
dolls, because I hate creepy dolls. It's just that ever since I saw that documentary about that island on
I
television,
saw it too. It's
I
amazing.
picked up things about people that I think may have been
Holy crap.
crossed over in the water near or on that island. And I
Really?
think
Oh,
they're the ones that
wow.
make all of the fuss on the island, not the dolls.
That
Okay.
place, it just looks amazing.
Where
It
would
does.
you want to go?
Yeah. Wow, man. There's so many places.
There is.
I'm losing my train of thought.
Stay with us,
Ooh,
girlfriend.
I know,
you're
right?
tired.
I know. No, never too tired. That's right. I have like this dream. I just really want to. I've never investigated an asylum, so that's a big one for me.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like
you have
I've been
to.
to prisons.
Waverly
I
Hills
just
would be a great
I've
one
heard
for you.
so many good things about that. That's a definite. There's just so many, but that's an asylum just anywhere would be nice. Out of the country would be super cool.
Honey, you at my house. Welcome to the asylum.
I'm here. I finally made it. Yes.
You can say you have done that now.
That's a big one. I think, and my other top one is the Conjuring house. I would love that. It's for sale now. I'd buy that house in a heartbeat. Yeah, if I had $1 million, I'd buy. I think it's like 1.4 million. Yeah.
What about you guys? Honestly, I haven't seen anything. Anybody? Freddie, hell, you're one of the team members. Answer the damn
Yeah,
question.
where would you guys want to investigate? Come on,
We'll call
Fred,
you on
lead
a
it off. If you could investigate anywhere in the world, Freddie, where would you want to go?
I want to do Normandy. I want to do the beach of Normandy. I think that would be pretty. Yeah.
I don't know if I
know
could
about
do that. one.
What's with the beach in Normandy?
Well,
I
it's the
haven't heard.
invasion D-Day, and so you had
I don't
so
know
much
if I could
sun.
do that one.
And there was
Very
something.
cool.
Sean's in the house now. Sean, say hey.
Hello.
You made it.
There was I got it third person, but there was some documentary about a little boy who walked out there and then he salutes and
Oh.
he stays there, keeps saluting.
I think I read
And
something
they was
about
talking about, people asked, who are you saluting? He says, all the soldiers. They keep coming by and saluting me. So, and it's like random.
Huh.
But we know how children are. I mean,
Yeah.
children are much more open than we
Yep.
are. And
Yes.
what's the possibility,
Absolutely.
given
Yes.
all of that happened?
My goodness.
And the last thing I would want would be for somebody to still be stuck there.
stuff there. Yeah,
You know, so if there's
especially
any
a child, just
possibility,
anybody, but
reliving that horror every day.
Myrtle
over and over.
Plantation or a castle. That's cool.
Myrtle Plantation would
Oh,
be
castles
cool,
castles are
Freddie.
awesome.
Castles.
I love castles. My gosh.
I don't know if I'd want to do a castle
What
Wow.
about like Transylvania?
because I see that right there,
Mm.
right there.
No.
I can't watch anything that has to do with, can I, Sean? Werewolves or vampires.
Real.
And to me,
there it
in
is.
my
That
head,
one's out.
a castle is associated with a vampire.
Isn't
I'm
that
sorry,
something
I don't
that-
do creepy stuff that chases me. No.
Bless your heart. Of all the things that you'd be scared of, not that that's not scary.
I'm-
Those are very scary.
I can't watch
What-
movies like that. I'll
what
have
movie were
nightmares
we
about
just
things
watching?
chasing me.
Goodness.
Oh,
I love
Pay the
werewolves.
Ghost. Pay the Ghost, was that the one?
Yeah, that was the one.
And you were freaking out with Pay the Ghost?
Yeah, that bothered me.
Oh.
Okay.
That's why I say of all the
Real
things,
life, I get.
bless her heart.
I
Yeah.
told him the things that I see regularly don't freak me out as bad because I'm used to seeing them regularly.
I get that.
You know what I
do.
mean?
I do.
But
get
when
that.
you see something on television, it's more of the jump factor. And for
Right,
me,
isn't
it's
that
the whole
something?
chase thing.
Oh yeah.
I
get
ain't
that
running
too.
from nothing unless it's ugly, but I don't want to be chased.
I mean, that is horrifying. It is.
Yeah, I don't
I
like that
understand that.
feeling of being chased by
I see
something.
how
Right.
you
And
can
it
get
gives
so
me
familiar
nightmares
with the
like
same
that.
looks of these things. Like they all look the same, right? What the hell are you talking about? What's in your
No, I
coffee?
get used to these things
It's in your
because I
coffee.
see this type of stuff all the time.
All right. So when I make you more blankets and stuff with the stuff.
No,
on
I
it-
don't need another blanket. I got a blanket.
made her a
roll up.
blanket.
Yes, he gave me
I
a
see the
blanket.
coffee mug.
Yes.
But I
A
was just
blanket
mesmerized.
for Christmas
A
that
blanket.
has all of these faces on it.
I cannot.
It's to remind her of the location.
That one right there is right in the middle of the blanket. When I
That-
use the
that
damn
girl?
thing, I flip it upside down so I'm not staring at it while I'm sleeping.
That's like the girl that hangs on the wall there. Oh, the tail on that.
The
thing.
Axe
My
Murder
Yes.
House, Alcatraz,
horrible.
Waverly Hills.
Alcatraz would be
Beautiful.
cool.
Yes.
That would be cool.
That would really be cool.
That would be
I
very
don't
cool.
hear it come up very often, but that would actually be really. Could you imagine if you
Alcatraz.
could stay there
For
the
overnight.
weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, I could imagine.
Yeah.
You'd have to do the weekend and just have a blast.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I would stay away. from
Waverly
that myself.
Hills, I've been to. That is an amazing
You
location
said
to
there was a lot of energy
investigate.
there.
A whole lot of energy. Just don't let nobody talk you into staying in the morgue by yourself. Don't do it. But it is an amazing location
it.
for energy.
I want to go there. You know, I went to
Rolling
the
Hills, there you go.
Eastern State Penitentiary. You've been there, and I love that. That is one place I've been one time. I would spend the night there by myself. I
Oh,
wandered by myself.
All right,
yeah,
Oh.
Penhurst Asylum's a good one.
That is a good
let me ask you this: would you hesitate spending the night in the KOA haunted house by yourself?
So this is so funny because I say, oh, I do all these like overnights in these super creepy places. There's something about the KOA, and I don't know what it is. I just can't put my finger on it. And I think I said to you last night, if I were challenged to stay in there for 30 minutes, even a couple minutes by myself, I would feel a little uneasy.
I'm
By
staying there
myself.
for more than 30
And
minutes
I
or
don't
so when I'm
scare
with
easy.
people. More or less.
I mean, I'm the girl
Uh-uh.
that's like, let's go chase the demons. And something about that place makes me feel
Everybody
uneasy.
wants to chase them until they run up on one, then they
Right?
change their
It's a
mind.
whole other story. Oh,
A whole
I don't
different
doubt
story.
it.
I
There's
appreciate
something
the
about that.
honesty, though.
I'm
I
being
do
honest.
appreciate the honesty.
absolutely.
And most people that go in, there's plenty
Something
of
about
actors and actresses that go and they know.
Yeah,
that
even if
they
you can't
really
put your
know.
finger on any specific thing that
It's
happens,
just something.
there's a feeling there, isn't
I'm
it?
telling you, when we
Yeah.
were, and I wasn't scared at all last night. We were investigating. Just the thought of being in there by myself, I wouldn't run out. I would do it, but I would be uneasy. And when we were coming down the stairs, I'm sure it was in my head last night.
Yep.
But I could just, it felt like something was right behind me. And you know how you can just feel the stairs behind you? I couldn't get down the stairs fast enough. I didn't tell you that.
No.
But there was something about it. I'm like, why did I have to be in the back? Why did I have to be just the stairs, like coming down, not any certain point on the stairs.
Everywhere we went, I was
At
in
the
the
end of the
front, so I
night.
didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
I
and me
Of course you
neither.
didn't.
And I mean, we went up and down 1,000 times, it felt like, but coming out, I was like, I just need to get
You know what he was doing while he was going down the steps. I'm gonna let her walk behind me. That way, if
Yep.
something pushes her, I'll know it.
Okay, so I could
Thank
stop
God I
her
made
so
it.
she wouldn't fall down the stairs. I mean,
Thank
my
you.
gosh.
Thank you. Let's
See,
see.
Don?
No,
Okay.
it's so he can
Thank you.
witness
Okay.
the activity. That's what it
That
is.
too. I mean, you know,
It made me a little uneasy.
why are we in the
Then
field?
granted, that is his job in this whole paranormal thing, but it just sucks. It has to be the expense of the rest of us.
Oh, right. Oh, man.
Hey, Glenn, thanks for being on.
Hi, Glenn.
The Queen Mary.
That would be a cool one.
That would
Sean
be
would
fun.
love that.
Penhurst. Yeah.
Those are all
Freddie
good.
was saying investigate an old ship too, and I know they're doing the North Carolina is pretty popular to go to.
Yeah.
They supposedly have quite a bit. I don't usually do actual paid locations. Now Waverly, I think I would do because you have been there personally, and I definitely take your word for it. But for the most part, I'm not really.
Yeah,
big
that
on-
place is that one's active. There's not you won't walk into an area in that building or those buildings because it's huge. You won't walk into any area without experiencing some type of
Nice.
activity,
That's my
whether
kind
it
of place.
be audio or visual. I mean, even people who have no abilities and don't
Okay.
believe at all go in there and see shadow people or they see,
Wow.
things moving that
Seeing it
shouldn't
or
be
they
At
seeing
moving.
it?
Waverly?
No, they're seeing it with their eyeballs, Rob.
That's my kind of place.
Shrewsbury Prison, May Stringer House.
I haven't heard of those. Let's put this on
I
the
keep
list.
looking past the camera. That's why I'm bobbing up
Yeah.
and down. It's not like I'm trying to duck away from Janie throwing something at me like she usually does.
No, when that happens, we're going to get that on film.
Oh, the death tunnel.
Oh, there you go.
That sounds amazing.
Yes, at Waverly. That's.
Did you enjoy that? Did you go there or not?
I did go there, but I didn't stay in that area. I walked that area.
What area didn't that team leave you somewhere?
Yeah, they left me in the morgue.
Ah, that's why you don't like them.
Yeah,
Okay.
And
but
a
by
lot happened?
myself with no lights, no
Oh,
nothing,
that's kind of amazing.
with a camera on me because they thought they would get to see some activity.
Did it happen?
The medium, it'll draw
Of
to
course.
me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it happened, honey. Jesus went on one walked on water. I was out of there.
What happened
I stayed
to you?
long enough to get my footing and feel for the doorway and
What
out I
got
went.
you? What was it?
You
You're like, I'm not even
No.
talking about it.
I could
Oh.
see. No.
You could see what was in there. Oh my god.
Some of the stuff that happened to people in there was more horrific than you could even describe. Anything and everything you've ever heard or read about
Way worse.
Waverly and the patients and the doctors and the experiments and all that kind of stuff doesn't come close to what really happened in that building.
Oh no.
It's horrible. And
That
not
is
just
horrible.
with adults. It happened with the children, everybody.
I hate
Everybody that went there.
Asylums are pretty cool. As you said, you want to go to an
Oh, it's
asylum.
like my dream
The
location.
amount of activity that's at the asylums is pretty awesome. I mean,
That. Seems like there always is.
there
you know?
there really is. It's
What
it's
just from
different
me
levels.
hearing. Yes.
But to
Yeah.
go in and even if you get a chance to go to one, quite honestly, Paranormal Nation Radio, thanks for jumping on.
Nation, hello.
Hi.
If you get a chance to go to one, I'm a big fan
Mhm.
of not having all the history because I don't want you to get locked in on one
And then
location.
that makes sense.
It's a little
it
bit
does.
easier if I have somebody that has let your own abilities, let your
Yes.
own feelings
Yep.
cart you where you're going to go and see what happens. Especially if you can do it, 2 times, like for a weekend or something.
Oh yeah.
And then
Well,
you
I
can
don't
say-
think I'd want to go to Skinwalker Ranch.
I do.
Chantel.
I do
I'm not
too.
really.
That one would scare me because again, it would be that feeling of being chased.
Oh yeah. That's a good one for being chased.
And I don't
can
like
see
that feeling. Even with the paranormal, as long as I can see it, I know where it is, it's not chasing me, I can get away from it. But I don't like that feeling of being chased.
How'd that work for you when you did that call with that production person? And how far away did you get from it?
Yeah. See, that's why I don't like that feeling of being chased.
And thanks for jumping on with us. Yeah, you're right, Glenn.
Yes.
We definitely need to get some time to get down there. That would be fun to go down Point Lookout. So, Kimberly, how did you
Yes.
get into the paranormal?
So honestly, I've just ever since I was a little girl, I've always had an infatuation with it. I would spend many nights at my grandmother's house that was very haunted, and she was into it big time. She had everything from the crystal balls to the Ouija boards to we just stay up late at night and yeah, I know. Watch ghost shows. I never mess with the Ouija board. So
Yeah,
that's
please
my mom
don't.
tells me don't you dare.
Hi, Ian.
So I know all about that. I was always intrigued by it. And then growing up, I had a few experiences I can remember little, as I was growing up that happened. Didn't think much of it. And then close to about 10
Hi,
years
Donna.
ago, when I was living in Florida, I experienced what living in a true haunted house was like. And I think it just kind of pushed me over the edge because of the things that happened to me. And I didn't understand why it was happening or who it could be. And I'm just like, I'm all in now. I want to help people that go through this. I want to understand it more. It just intrigued me.
Now, you
Like,
said you started when you were young. So what's the earliest age approximately that you
oh my
remember?
goodness, that I can
Please
actually
don't say
remember.
one.
No,
I hear people say one.
how do you
Really?
remember? I mean,
You're
maybe they do,
incredible.
but yeah, mine was about 5. I'd say 5 or 6.
Better memory than mine,
Yeah.
I'll tell you. I can't remember what I did this morning.
Yeah, I can't say the same for now, but I can remember stuff like that. We lived over on Faulkner Avenue in Martinsburg, of all
Okay.
things, and at the time, very nice area back then, and we had what was then a beautiful home. It was a 4-story home. My parents had got it, but very haunted. Like, things would happen. I would get locked in my room to the point where my father would have to get on the roof to open the window to get to me, and then the minute he would get there, the doors would unlock.
That's pretty locked.
Yeah, that's pretty locked. I mean, we couldn't get it messing with it. There was some things that would happen.
Now, see, creepy movie. Think about it. Man goes out the window, outside. They have to come to the window. Is there something?
At least you called for somebody to come get you after I tore that door off the hinges.
It was Christmas morning.
I don't care.
Of all
I tore that
things,
door off.
I mean, I was locked
Christmas
in.
morning.
Christmas morning, I mean,
Wow.
locked in, and I'm like, okay, just mess. And they're trying everything from the outside. Dad had to get up on the roof. The minute he did, my door just unlocks and opens. I mean, that was pretty horrifying at 5 or 6 years old. Yeah, it wasn't good, and that happened on more than one occasion. That's just, but it seemed like the paranormal was always attracted to me. I mean, I think I told you about my time down at the Roundhouse. My father would take me to downtown train station, and we would go to DC often on the weekends for fun at the Roundhouse in Martinsburg. And I think he thought I was crazy at the time, but now it all makes sense. I kept saying something's throwing rocks at me. And sometimes I'd be with just my dad. Sometimes I'd be with my little brothers. And they'd swear by it too. There were rocks being thrown at us. And sure enough, he'd be like, okay, guys, all these years later, I just found out that's a common thing that happens to people there when you walk the tracks or that area. But I'll never forget it. Just little things like that even. Started pretty young.
That is really cool, though.
Yeah.
The fact that you can have, again,
Yeah.
those experiences
Yeah.
and
Just
others
little
around
things
you.
like
Well,
that.
even you claim you don't have any type of abilities. I mean, I'm sure your senses are a little more keen now after years of being in the field.
They are developing.
But
right?
you had experiences as a younger person
Yeah.
growing up before you even got into the whole paranormal thing. So I think it comes to you
Yes,
Yeah.
when
I believe that
it
too.
feels you're ready for it.
And when you're open to it.
Yep,
I'm
exactly.
telling you. And then even we spoke about the Eastern State Penitentiary. That was the one place that I had something follow me, first and only time. But that was pretty creepy because at the time I was visiting my mom and we had gone there. Of course, I was the person. I went down there with a group of people. I decided to venture off on my own where everybody wasn't. Probably not so smart, but that's what I do. And that's what I do. I can still remember the number of the jail cell that I went in. And I kept seeing this, not an orb, but it was a light that kept showing up in my pictures, about the size of an orb, but it kept just bouncing everywhere. And I even have this one video of this black shadow while I'm trying to take a picture just going across the whole, and there's no light in there. There's barely windows in all the cells. It was just a complete form. But long story short, that same thing that was bouncing around in all my pictures, I was Skyping with a friend back home that night, and right in my background, that thing was bobbing around. And then about 5 minutes later, I hear my mom screaming, "Kimberly, what did you bring home? It's in the bathroom." I mean, my mom never, she gets scared, but not like that.
Right.
And so we just simply said, "You're not welcome here. You weren't supposed to follow me. You need to leave." And we got lucky. It left that easily, but I'll never forget it. Whatever was in that cell that was so attracted to me, followed me around that night, it showed itself plain as day on my webcam. I could see it just bouncing all over.
Awesome.
It was so cool. So just little things like that. And then, of course, we'll get to the haunted house thing.
Oh, yes.
That's a whole story.
I still want to hear about Florida.
Gosh. Oh, that's what I mean. That's
Yes,
wow.
That's definitely going to be. I want to check this question out, and this is for all of you. What do you think happens to spirits when they die, for instance, nowhere near their house and suddenly, just like the poor souls that died for Friday's tragic historic tornado, blown and thrown away? What do you think happens to those people?
It's a question.
They can either cross over, or they can choose to go back to their homes and hang with their loved ones, or they can cross over and come back later and check on loved ones. They can do whatever they want to do until the second coming of Christ, until Judgment Day.
You know what I worry
What do you
about? I worry that something like that so suddenly, kind of like where you weren't expecting it. Like, do they get stuck in a residual where they're either constantly reliving it, or are they just stuck there not understanding what's happening? Like, maybe they don't even realize they're dead. That's what I worry about.
I have ran into spirit that were stuck,
Yes.
but it was
So you get
not
it.
because they didn't know
They just
what
didn't
they
know how
needed to
get
do.
to the light.
Most of them, I would say 99% of them, were there not because they had to be, but because they were afraid to cross over for whatever reason.
That makes sense.
Some were afraid that
That's
if they
sad.
crossed over, they wouldn't be able to come back
To come
and see
back.
their loved ones.
I could see that.
Others were afraid that if they crossed over, they would be judged and they had done things in their life
Yeah.
that they didn't think they would be forgiven for.
I understand that.
And then there are some that are just so greedy that they're determined, this is my land and my house and I'm not leaving it.
Right.
Like the gentleman
Yeah.
who called
Seriously.
last night.
Oh my gosh, you weren't there. It was so cool.
We
I've
get
never
some random
experienced that.
calls.
Yeah, I've never experienced you guys getting a random call. This man at first I'm
Yeah, we
like,
do.
oh, he's joking. No, he was horrified.
Yeah.
And we
I
could
told
hear,
you,
we
we
could
get
hear the
some-
banging.
We've had grown men on the phone in tears.
Well,
Please,
he was
somebody's
like-
got to help me.
He was just, it was sad. He said he lost his girlfriend left him.
Yep.
I mean, it was sad. You could tell he wasn't making this. And in the meantime, he's talking and there's all these loud bangs. He's like, that's coming from upstairs, I think. And I mean, it was pretty scary.
To finish up on your question that you had, it was a great question. The one thing we definitely believe in, and correct me if I'm wrong, Janie, as far as forget about time and distance. So when you think of somebody being removed from their house, let's just say they got thrown 50 miles away and they die somewhere else, does not have any effect. I honest to God do not believe that has any effect whether or not they can get back.
Nope, none
know what I mean?
whatsoever. None.
Time and distance. They don't wear watches on the other side, so they have all the time in the world.
No.
And distance. We had a spirit that was with us up in PA, and there was another team that was performing an investigation down in Georgia, and people were seeing the same spirit at both on our live feed and on another live feed. Same name, same everything.
Chantel, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. For Paranormal Nation, they asked that what happens to someone who's deaf and or blind when they die? Can they still see us or hear us? You don't take any of your ailments or anything with you when you go. All you take is your memories and the love that you had from others or that you gave to others. You don't take any of the other baggage. You don't take any of the medical issues. You don't take any of the things. Exactly,
Yes.
because you don't have that body that lost those things anymore. You're just energy. You're a spirit.
That's so
And
good.
a spirit doesn't have defects, if you will. The body will, but the spirit doesn't.
Correct. Yep.
That's pretty awesome.
Great question. I love that question.
Absolutely.
Excellent thought about that. It's just like when we're dealing with locations, that's one thing that our team does. We deal with a lot of locations that have negative activity, hence the call we got last night.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter religion, it doesn't matter language, including Native American. Do we not communicate with Native American?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
because it is energy. It is your, what word am I looking for? It's your, what you're trying to get to, what your intentions. It's your intentions. Everything is intention based.
Yeah.
It's like when I get ready to start a cleansing, it's my intention. I state my intention, but up here I've still got the intention going of what I'm doing.
Right.
Because we're so used to the physical body, and well, once you are into this field long enough, you understand, because people go, well, how does something scratch you? It doesn't have a body, because it's energy.
Mm-hmm.
Energy can do anything, eventually if it's moved in the right way or utilized the right way, it's amazing what it can do. So you don't limit yourself. That's unfortunately what too many people do, is they limit themselves.
Mr. Glenn, I do too. My heart goes out to him. I prayed for him last night. I hope everybody's okay. And God bless the families that lost loved ones.
So sad. I saw where it took out a whole Amazon facility.
Yeah, and a candle making factory. It
Gosh,
was
so many
bad.
deaths.
Don was asking a question.
We'll go to it.
So how can I get back to where I can see people that have died? I was 6 or 7 when I seen Grandma. She came to me and told me she was dead. And again, when my mom died, she gave me a piece.
Wow.
If you have, and you can have these acute experiences with particular loved ones, if they think you need to have, somebody needs to come to you and say, hey, look, it's okay.
Yeah, you won't need to
I'm
get
fine.
back to it. It will get to
back to
you.
But it doesn't mean
Will
that you
come to
have
you.
the ability overall that's going to be a consistency. Not saying you can't. It
Right.
can certainly develop, and the older we get, and especially if you have a life-threatening situation like a medical procedure,
Yeah, that can ramp it up.
That can absolutely turn somebody in a heartbeat into having opening. And what it is part of your mind's opening up, and when we're raised to believe certain things. When you finally, it's like being in this field long enough. Once you have seen things that can't physically, as far as we're concerned, science can't say what things, it just doesn't make sense, and you start realizing that's real, boom, that's when things start happening to you. You start opening up a lot more.
Yep.
Anybody can be, it's like somebody in a house, you can become empathic, which is to feel or sense an energy that's in that house. It's just because they're basically getting on the same frequency with you, especially when you dream. That's the easiest one. That's when your mind's the quietest. But then you get out of your house and you don't feel anything else anywhere else. That's because you have that little opening there, but it's not the full scope of being empathic.
Yeah, that's why I recommend meditation for anybody who's trying to learn how to open.
That's good to know.
I recommend meditation because I had to use meditation in order to learn how to open and close mine so that it didn't stay open all the time. And the best way to do that is to learn to be still your mind. Well, think about that. How hard is that? Can you close your eyes right now and make your brain not think of anything at all?
No.
That's almost impossible to do.
Right.
But when you learn to meditate, the brain gets to that state.
Very cool.
And to that point, a lot of people have a problem with that. And the easiest thing to do, fire is mesmerizing.
I believe it, Glenn.
If you take a candle and when we're saying as far as to go ahead and still your mind to try to quiet everything out, if you would light a candle, get like one of the 3 or 4 inch candles, put it on a plate so no wax gets on your floor, and kind of focus on the flame, all of a sudden you start tuning out everything that's happening around you.
Yeah.
And when you notice that the time moves and you don't realize that it's already been 5 minutes or 20 minutes, that's when you're at a
level of meditation.
Yeah.
And Pete, that's a big misconception. People think if they meditate, they have to lay down somewhere. That is one form of it. But there are 1,000 different ways to meditate and calm your mind. You can lay outside and stare at a cloud in the sky long enough and everything around you will disappear but that cloud.
That's pretty cool.
You won't hear noises or anything else, but you have to train your brain to get to that,
and open
that
yourself
level.
to it.
Usually it's people, and again, that's even part of the abilities. The first real phase of abilities you go through is being empathic, which means you feel, sense other things, and it's not things that you can necessarily see. For those that don't really understand it, basically you're watching a chick flick, you see it and you cry. Okay.
Right.
Yes.
Hate to admit to it, whatever, but that's what happens. When you're empathic, you don't even see it. So
you just
somebody could be in the next room. Something could have happened 50 years ago where somebody had a horrible tragedy. They were extremely upset, and all of a sudden you start crying.
Oh my God, it happened just here in our kitchen not too long ago.
Oh, well, yeah.
I picked up some stuff for Rob, and the overwhelming feeling of sadness and guilt and regret was so strong. I just started crying. I was like, Rob, I got a message for you. It was terrible. But you just feel it, and you know it's not for you, it's for someone else. But they put that feeling on you so that you can relay the message in a way that they would understand. And I don't think Rob would have gotten it had they not given me that feeling to make it.
Well, I think the sincerity, it was my dad.
It was the sincerity of it that came through.
Because I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Is this my dad? I'm just,
right.
It didn't really pull a string, but it does pull a string because it's not her crying.
No, because I was just perfectly fine and joking with him 5 minutes prior. I didn't have any idea anybody was going to pop through.
That's crazy.
And I'm standing there, and to be honest, I'm focused on those little thingies he's got sitting on that shelf up there that keep flying off at me, thinking, man, I hope them damn things don't move anymore. And it was a gentleman that came through and started giving me information. And when I gave Rob the information, he said, do you think it's my dad? I said, I think so. And then all of a sudden, the overwhelming feeling that he put on me of guilt and regret and sadness, and it was bad. I just started bawling. I was like, Rob, I'm so sorry.
Janie didn't honestly know. I mean, we're very, very tight, but I really don't talk a lot about, so she really didn't have any clue about my relationship in that sense.
He won't give you, no matter how close you are to him, Rob will very rarely ever give you a little glimpse into his true feelings about things, especially when it comes to people, family. But Yeah, I didn't have any idea that it was like that. But yeah, but that's just an example of how you can feel
Yes.
things empathically that aren't yours, whether you're seeing it or
That's pretty
there
cool.
or
And is that
not.
typical for you to drop into tears at any time?
Sometimes not. It's not like something I do everywhere.
Considering
we
how
go.
much we've
Right.
been in through it.
Right.
So it can still, in the beginning, it definitely happens to a lot of people, but it can still happen to you. It depends on how much they really want to push.
Exactly. Case in point, the little girl that was burned. That
Yes.
was the saddest thing I had
Yes.
ever experienced on an investigation, but it didn't make me feel that sorrow. So I
Interesting.
didn't cry. She made me feel as though she was very, very, very at peace with the
Aw,
fact that people didn't forget 9/11.
that's awesome. That is awesome.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
So she didn't put her pain or
you.
her regret or her grief. I didn't feel that from her. But it's rare that happens. But when it does, it's
It hits
something
you.
else. Because I'm not a crier, guys. I'm really not.
No,
I mean, I go to
no.
funerals and don't cry. My own family members' funerals, and I don't cry.
So
Because
it takes
as
a lot.
somebody that can see spirit, I know that's not the end.
Right.
Ah, that's
I
an
know
interesting
that I
point.
can still
like
see
that.
them and hear them or whatever. So it
That's
doesn't
pretty
sadden me
cool.
in the same way it does everyone else. But when
Yeah.
it comes to the paranormal, when they put that on you, you don't have a choice. You don't have any control over it. It's like the tears just start and you can feel that.
Just hits you.
Yeah.
Man, that's
And you
amazing.
can help break that connection if you need to. If you have somebody or if you're a significant other of that person, you might want them to kind of pay attention to this one little part and pass it on to people that you know. If you have people that do suddenly go to tears, and I'm not saying they have a medical issue, I'm talking about people who just, they might have been diagnosed with anxiety. A lot of people that are empathic, have empathic abilities, are considered to have high anxiety. Their mind's always going, kind of like what you're talking about. Your brain's always going. It's because you're never grounding. And when you can get by the river, when you can get to the water, it's like if you go to the beach, who does not have the best sleep in their life after they
Amen.
spend a little bit of time on the beach? You go home, whatever, and that night, boom, you're out.
Sleep like
Yep.
you never slept before.
Exactly.
And that's
Mhm.
because your body just naturally grounded while you were there.
Yep.
And
With
you're
the
just
salt
letting
water
everything
and the
diffuse.
I was just
sand.
getting ready to say that.
Yep.
Something about that water. Yes.
Yep. Absolutely.
Every time.
Freddie, thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Yeah,
All right,
Freddie, don't burn
Freddie.
your house down, honey. Go get whatever it is you're supposed to be getting.
So let's hear about this. Let's hear about your experience in Florida. I want to hear about this.
Trying to see where I could even begin. So this was a house that at the time we had bought. It was, brand new, built from the ground up
Okay.
in a very popular development, but newer development in Tampa, Florida. So it wasn't like it had a history to it. It was maybe a year or two old. And all I know is the
But
owners.
let me stop you for a 2nd.
Mhm.
But the land this place was built on had been there for how long?
Exactly. So that's what I'm kind of thinking. It's
Yeah.
anything it could be.
Yeah.
All I know is the owners had the house, and I think they were in the, flipping business anyways, get a house, flip it as quick as you can. But they lived in it for a very short time, but barely lived in it, and sold it. And we happened to buy it. And like I said, definitely wasn't an old house. Didn't seem like it was on any old land, but how could I know? Like you
Right.
said, obviously
Land's
the
been
land
there
had
forever.
been there forever.
Yeah.
So at the time, my daughter, who's now 13, she was a newborn.
Okay.
And, babies coo and caw at things, but I would notice when I would put her in her swing, she would interact with something always as if I was interacting with her, not as a
Right.
happy baby clap. Laugh and giggle and look and point. And when babies
Right,
are interacting
yeah.
and when they're talking to
Yeah.
themselves.
Mothers know especially.
Just know. So
Hey.
it started there.
Well, dads know too,
Yeah,
but you
damn
know what
right
I
they
mean.
do.
Moms are with the babies more than
Yes.
the dads are, so they
Yep.
usually notice
We
differences
just
and
noticed
things.
that. I'm like,
Usually,
wait, who are you talking to?
Yeah,
know?
usually. Well, we can't help it.
Okay, maybe not always.
Kids, what can I say?
But so it started with that, and I would be like, okay, so my loved ones are visiting her and watching over. This is a good thing. But as she got older, I noticed the activity really picked up, and it wasn't that it was so much focused on her, but she could definitely see something I couldn't. And what started off as playful that I think was angels and loved ones, it later turned. When she was scared, she would make this face. I can't even do it. She'd make this little noise and, anything.
Right.
And for whatever reason, when I put her up in the bathroom to change her or wash her, we had like this bathroom with a double sink, and then there was a door that led in, to the bathroom part with the shower and everything, as if Something was standing behind that door every day, consistent. She would point behind that door, just terrified. She didn't want to be in that bathroom. So I'd go, oh, mommy, check behind the door. Nothing's here. Something was there. So it started with little things like that. But then it got more. I'd talk to my mom on the phone, and she's here in West Virginia. I'm in Florida. And out of nowhere, I would get this bang on the top of my house, as if like, the only way I can describe it is if a plane, when I say it would shake my house,
Really
it would shake my house. It'd be so, and my mom would hear it and be like, gosh, what was that? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, and she could hear it. And it would be in the guest bedroom. Everything was kind of, upstairs, it seemed. I'd go up there. It would sound like a tornado was coming through that room. I thought for sure I was going to go up there. The TV would be broke. The furniture would be flipped. Not a thing out of place. What would start with a bang on the roof would end up a bunch of noise and then nothing. And then as we're talking, I would hear something falling down the stairs. When my first thought was, oh my God, my daughter got out of her crib. We had a lot of stairs. She's falling down the stairs. Nothing, little things like that. But then it started getting weird. Like we had a gas stove. I was telling you about that. That's why I'm kind of afraid of gas stoves. I would wake up. I'd be in a dead sleep with the door closed, and I would smell the gas that you distinctly smell when you turn on a gas stove. And I would wake up thinking I'm dreaming, and I'd come out and the stove would be on. I'm like, okay, this isn't good, and it's just me and her in the house. So that freaked me out. I can't tell you how many times the police would come because we had an alarm. I didn't call them, but they would automatically come. They kept swearing that we were setting something off. For the longest, I thought somebody was breaking in, but doors would just open, alarms would go off. Couldn't explain it. I was not leaving doors open. I was not making noise to cause this. Constantly, the alarm would be set off.
I agree, Chantal.
It was freaky. It was kids and animals, like they see things, but I think the oddest thing ever, the two things that really got me and scared me the most, we had, it was a big house, so we had several like AC units throughout the house to control the temperature. And one day it just stopped working. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how can all the units not be working? And I'm like, I'd have to replace the batteries on these. I couldn't for the life of me find out where to change the batteries on it. So I'm looking, my dad's looking, I got everybody looking. We can't figure out what's going on. Can't get the AC to work. It's really hot in Florida. We're looking for like a good solid hour. And then plain as day, sitting on the bottom of the steps were all the batteries that had been taken out of all the units and have been placed strategically on my step. Now that to me takes a lot of energy to go through my house with we just couldn't believe it. Like we just couldn't. And at the time my dad was skeptical, but they would come down and visit a lot because of my daughter. My mom, she's very much into that. She understood. He became a believer when he stayed the night at my house for the first time. He was having his morning coffee at the table, and plain as day behind him, he heard my mom say, he thought it was my mom say, good morning, honey, how are you? And he turned around and I'm nothing. But in her voice, something she would say. So he's like, okay, I must be going crazy. He goes up the stairs to check, and her and my daughter are sound asleep. So this thing was imitating voices. It was showing itself to my mom in the form of some man walking up and across my balcony. Like, I don't know what it was, but it would do things to scare my daughter. So for that, I didn't like it. And eventually we moved from the house. Long story short, several things happened. I could go on, but it followed me and the noises continued. When I moved into the house, we had tons of boxes in the living room, and my mom was sleeping in the guest room down the hall. My daughter and I were sleeping in the bed in my room. And we heard it like somebody just came in, took every box, flipped it, threw it, banging on the doors. She was horrified. I was horrified. Neither one of us went to get out of the bed to look because, this is happening. And I'm like, Mom, what is that? She's like, I don't know. You go check. We go out in the living room. Nothing's disturbed. But when I say it's like furniture was being thrown, like toys, my kids' toys were coming on, all of them. It was horrific. And things just put nothing out of place. And I think the worst thing that happened to me was later that same night, we were asleep in the bed, sitting in the pitch dark, and we'd just gone through this craziness with the noises and nothing. So we're already terrified. And plain as day on the nightstand beside me, it was like as close to me as you are. I hear 3 knocks on it, just, and I'm like, what? And I could just feel something hovering over me. I'm like, okay, now the thing's knocking on the nightstand, it's next to me. But the fact that it followed me, the fact that it's knocking 3 times, terrifying my daughter, I know it wasn't good. I know when something follows you, I don't know if it was a demon or anything like that, but I know it was definitely evil. Anytime my mom and I would get the Bible, because one night it got so bad, we just got the Bible out and started reading from it. It would stop, whether it made it mad or just whatever, it would stop. But I mean, it would be like all this craziness around us, banging. You'd think the house is coming apart, but you can't physically see anything happening. And we'd start reading from the Bible and it would stop. But the thing on the roof was constant.
Goodness.
It would sound like the beast of beast on top of my roof. Like, I'll never know what it is, what caused it, what brought it in. But it really made me want to get even deeper into the paranormal than I already was.
I'm going to sneeze, guys.
No, you're fine.
COVID alert, COVID alert. I'm sorry, I have to throw that out.
No, it's not. It's called sinuses and allergies.
Oh, it's that time
I don't know
of year.
what it is down here. Every time, look, my eyes water.
Yeah, they are.
Every time I come down here, I feel like I have to sneeze.
Oh, no.
I don't know why.
I know what it
Something's
is, I
getting
bet
you.
you.
What?
Remember the woman that lived here had all those damn
Oh,
cats?
yeah, that could be it. The lady
Still
that lived here
lingering?
prior had cats, but every time I come down here, it makes my throat tickle. I feel like I have to
Walk in that
sneeze.
room
I
and
start
then-
to
Yeah.
cough.
Walk in that room and find out.
Oh, I know. I was in there the other day trying to reorganize the pantry. It's a pantry room right here in the basement. And I'm telling you, even though we had the flooring redone, I go in there, my eyes start to water,
Like you
my
can-
nose starts.
The
Hear my
person
nose
that
smell
lived
the
flutter?
here
cat, or
closed
like-
up everything
Oh my
under the
gosh.
steps except for a very small opening for her cats.
Oh,
Then they left all their trash and stuff piled up under there, and we treated everything.
yeah.
But up under that, I bet you up under that is the last
Oh,
place we have.
well,
to.
we've got to
It's
get
still
some
that bad.
Odoban and just dump it under there. All of it.
I do want to address for a minute. There are people in all religions, in all paths, whatever you want to call it, and so with people in particular with abilities, people will take advantage of you. Unfortunately, number one, nobody should be telling you what you can't do. You can do what you want to do if you go at it. It doesn't mean that you can do it the next day. I'd be the first one going to tell you.
Hi, Sandy.
If you turn around and you started saying, "Hey, you're developing, you're having some abilities," and then a month later, you say, "Hey, I'm a medium," I'm going to tell you to your face, you're not. Sorry, it just doesn't happen that way. That's just my opinion. You
Yeah,
can have your
that's fair.
opinion, call yourself
And I
everything you
never
want.
knew what level you needed to be on to give yourself a title. Because when I met Rob, I didn't have a title.
No,
I didn't use
no.
a title. I just said, look, I don't know what you want to call it, but I can see and hear dead people.
That's so cool.
And I can
This
walk
is
a
our
location
conversation.
and
Yeah.
see things the way they used to be. He says, well, I would think with what you're describing, you're most likely a medium. I was like, I don't know what it's called, but I can tell you where the dead people are if you want to know.
But people do take advantage of other people, and especially in the paid side of it. And I hate to hear that. Now I understand people can collect some for their time. I get it. But if your mentor, whoever's working with you, is telling you you can't do something, in particular, I'm talking about the elite paranormal. I know who it is.
I do
And
too.
I know that whole situation. And when the guy is sitting there saying, "Hey, you can't do that," or you can't be, I already know what you can. Some people will actually follow our investigations, and part of the reason why we do a live investigation is the reason we do it live is we like other people to participate. Yes, on the live, but some people don't want to have public scrutiny, and so they'll go ahead and they'll text bits and pieces that they're getting.
Right.
This woman has been extremely accurate. Extremely accurate.
She's amazing.
She's done really, really good several times, over and over and over. So she's developing. She's not looking for a title or anything like
No.
that. But
No.
she reached out. She was trying to get better. So she goes ahead and pays somebody for all these trainings. And then and I know what's going on here and there. I'm watching. She's telling me, "Hey, did you get this? Did you get this? Did you get that?" And she doesn't even know. And I'm going,
Yeah, and we got
yes,
it. We're talking
yes,
about the
yes.
Elite Paranormal Society.
But yet her mentor is going, "No, you're not
very
good enough
cool.
to do that. You can't do that." Don't let anybody
Mm-mm.
ever tell you what you. We don't know what limits anybody ever has.
Exactly. There are no
Right.
limits. There are none.
Janie, I put her on the spot all the time where I can turn around and I come up with anything. To me, it's a fly by the seat. I shoot her a picture when she lived in PA, and this, honest to God,
This was out of the blue. He had never done that to me before, so I found
I
it
will-
to be odd. I was like, "What the heck
Just
is
shoot
wrong with
her
it?"
a picture. In one case, it was a woman. Just a picture. There's no words, no nothing to it. And it's somebody who's local to me, not somebody that's in the paranormal field, nothing like that. She's 2.5 hours away. And what do you got?
Yes, Jesse, I believe that too.
And I just started asking her, "What do you got?"
That's so
And
cool.
she'll start telling me, "Well, unfortunately, I don't really feel her life force. I don't honestly think she's alive. The husband knows exactly what happened to her, and
Wow.
they're going to find it in the grass."
I didn't know who this
Oh, yeah, I
person
remember you
was.
telling
This
me
is an
this.
actual case that
I didn't have a
actually
clue.
happened.
That's
And
amazing.
I said, "Okay, all right, you're telling me you don't feel that she's alive." She says, "No, I've been watering, I see the
I didn't know.
trees."
Oh my
I just see trees all above me. I'm like, what?
I just knew what I started to see and feel when I saw that picture. And I didn't know what the picture was for, why he sent it. I just knew what I started seeing and feeling as soon as I saw it.
This
So I
is
started
as
That's amazing.
blindsided of a position you can get put into. Now, we have a good rapport. She knows I have no expectation. I can't tell you anything about it.
Right.
I have no expectation.
And Rob knows I'm not going to give anything
Correct.
I don't get, because there have been
That's-
times when you've asked me stuff and I was like, bro, I don't know. I don't get anything.
I'll let you know if anything comes to
Yeah.
me. That's the rapport you should have, because I don't give a shit how good you are. You should not feel like you always have to give something back.
No.
Yeah, it's not gonna
especially-
happen that way.
So when you're
Yep.
starting out, it's extremely important you don't. Your confidence is what you have to build. So writing stuff down, if you think you get something, if you actually jot it down, keep a journal, keep a diary, notepad, whatever, you jot it down. When it gets confirmed, you physically write the word confirmed, because now you're giving yourself a pat on the back, which you should get, because,
Yeah.
hey, you got it right.
Yeah.
That's building, not cockiness, confidence.
Yeah.
I hate people that are arrogantly cocky about it.
Give
okay?
yourself a pat on the back for picking up the information correctly.
Listening to it. There you
Do
go.
not take credit for it. It doesn't come from you. It
There's-
comes from the
Amen.
other side.
Oh my
It does
gosh,
not
yes.
come from you.
Yes.
And the reason I never gave my name myself a title before is because I believe that you're never going to get good enough at this to be the best. There's no such thing. You're learning every single time you do it. You're learning something different. And I believe that if you live to be 200 years old with this gift, you would still never learn everything there is to know. And my belief is exactly what I told you I want to have put on a t-shirt. Be as cocky as you want to be with it. Give yourself as many titles as you want to give yourself. But sweetheart, a lion never has to tell you he's a lion. Simple as that.
Fair enough.
Question Ann had was, while Kimberly tells her story, did you have any insight into it? Anything come to you when she was
Oh, I'm
talking?
sure it came from the
That is
land.
interesting.
I'm
From the land?
positive it came from the land. Yeah,
Okay.
I would be interested to find out what used to be there about
Me
100 years ago,
Me too. Now,
because I feel black and white, and that usually tells me it's 100 years old or older. I would be
wow.
interested to know what happened on that piece of land
I
or
know
that
behind me
particular
now,
area.
or behind the house now currently is, and even when I lived there as well, is nothing but wetlands. You know, we're talking crocodiles, wetlands. So my backyard was a wetlands, and then with some grass. So it's, you know, who knows, 100 years ago.
Exactly.
I wondered and thought the same
I
thing.
believe
like,
that it
has to
has
be the
something to
land.
do with the
There's
land.
not,
I
no
really
history.
do. And I think that it's not stuck. I think whatever it was felt that it had purpose to be there, and that you were the
Ah.
one that was intruding.
Okay, interesting. I
That's
appreciate
exactly
that.
how it makes me
And
feel.
I often wondered if it was still there, like wanted to knock on these people's doors and say, "Hey, you ever have anything?" Because I
Right,
had so
absolutely.
many
Yeah.
experiences, but I never have yet. Came this close.
I think it's too often is we had a phone call yesterday evening when we were actually
Yes,
over
we
at
did.
KOA,
Yes, yes, we
and
did.
I took the call, thought it was somebody else because the gentleman didn't want to give his number out.
Right,
And I get
right.
it. You know, some people are again paranoid about
Right,
He's
people
very
right.
private.
attitude. And at first, you know, we have to I have to sort through whether or not I think it's a real call or a fake call, because we do get fake calls.
Get a lot
It
of
happens.
those.
But it doesn't take too long before you realize just how, you know, terrified the individuals are. And it's unfortunate that it's so hard for people to reach out, because they spend so much time trying to convince you they're not crazy.
Right.
There is so many different things that can affect people, though, between Native Americans. You know, you talk about demons and everything, and
Oh,
nobody
man.
really talks about the Native
And
Americans.
there's some pretty
Native
harsh.
Americans are the most tied spiritually into the land there is. The Skinwalker
Yes.
Ranch. What do you think that is?
Yeah.
And they will get angry.
Very much
Shapeshifter
so.
stuff like that. People say, "Oh no, there's no."
And newsflash, people. Spirit don't become angels the second they leave this world. If you were Jeffrey Dahmer here, you're still going to be
You're
the
no
same
angel
Jeffrey
now.
Dahmer mentality there.
Amen. I'm probably more scared of Native Americans than I am.
Elite Paranormal
I mean,
Society. I love it when I tell Rob not to drive on certain roads or highways, and he follows your direction. That's the only time he follows my direction on him, and that's rare.
I do follow that, though. I do. Don, thanks for being on with us.
Hi,
as well.
Dawn.
And again, everybody's welcome to their beliefs. Jesse says, "I believe you're born with gifts and progress as you
I do
grow."
too, Jesse.
There's-
I absolutely do.
I think it's more predominant on the female side. We do know that if you actually watch the field, it's very common that you're starting to develop. You have
Oh,
you
yes.
have abilities. bet
I
your
knew
mom
that
had
the
abilities,
first night
but
I met
knew
her, I
that.
was like, I can feel
That
that.
was weird.
Oh, she did. I
That
think
was
that's.
really weird.
I think that was. Remember when you were like, "There's something different here." And I can't put my. I think it was our energy.
I do too,
figured it out
because I
later
told
that
Rob
night.
when I left that night,
I
I
haven't
said, I
seen you
have
do
never
that.
been that attracted to someone's
was
energy,
crazy.
a living
Yes.
person's energy like that
That's
before.
amazing.
I said, I really like this girl. Don't you piss her off.
She did.
God.
I need a female
I like
friend.
it
Don't
too.
you mess this up. But yeah, I could
Oh,
feel
that's
that energy.
crazy.
It was like it was that magnetic. I could feel, I even
Yeah.
stepped closer to you.
She did.
I was
She
like, I
did.
could
Like,
feel
just took
that
it in.
pull. I was like, you've got some
It was-
abilities going on somewhere.
I think it's really important again. In Janie would do the same thing. If she was doing paid readings for a while, we took a break because of the move and now painting on the house, trying to get
So
things
draining,
done.
I'm sure.
And it does.
Oh, we still have so far to go.
But-
There's so much left to do.
Janie didn't even put a time frame on her reads. I mean, a lot of places they'll do so many questions.
That's
They'll
so
do,
nice.
15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30
Yeah,
minutes.
Yeah, I
30
never
minutes.
did. There were times when I would be on a reading for 3 hours, sometimes
never heard
4
of
hours,
that.
and I worked 12-hour days then,
Correct.
10 and 12-hour days. So
Now
I would get
that's
up at 3
amazing.
a.m. to go to work, and there were nights when I was on the phone with the read till well after midnight.
I wish I would have known you a long time ago. I went through my phase where I'm like, I'm going to try this out. Sadly, I got disappointed. And, I'm like, well, that was a waste,
Right,
Too bad there aren't more people like her.
Right.
That do
And
it
to
the
be
right
honest
way.
with you, the little that I do charge for my reads when I get back to doing them, that money is money that we usually would spend when we go to Gettysburg for the
Uh-huh.
battlefield bash.
Yep.
We donate
Oh, that's
chunks
nice.
of
It
money
goes right
to
back
the
into
wounded
field.
warriors and to the children
Oh,
for the,
that's so
the cure
nice.
for cancer and that type of stuff. So it's not like I'm making a fortune. I'm not making anything on this because most of it is donated out to other things,
Right.
Yes,
or it's used for us to go farther distances
of
to
course.
investigate or help a client in
Yep.
their home or whatever.
That's
So
nice.
trust me, honey, I'm not getting rich. Thank you,
real
Miss
quick.
Gina.
Glenn, thank you so much. Bonnie, thanks for jumping on with
Hi,
us.
Bonnie.
We appreciate it. And John, you're absolutely right. Indian ground can get very, very nasty. And again,
Yes.
they don't look at it who owns what particular houses because it's,
think it's
the
all
To them,
land.
it's their land.
Yep.
And there's a lot of things that can happen from the Native American side that just is so missed. I mean, you're talking about animals that are getting, unfortunately, that die for no sudden reason. I mean, they're just big animals, everything. It can range from what they can do when they really want to get.
Miss Sandy, you let me get settled in, sweetheart, and finish up all this painting I have to do because I need to have the house completed before spring. And I will gladly give you a read, sweetheart, free of charge.
No, that would be so cool.
She's been waiting so long
She's a
for one.
sweetheart.
Bless
She
her
really
heart.
is.
Oh.
She is, and she's been following us almost from the beginning.
She's
So
been extremely supportive.
she's precious.
And we
Miss
sincerely
Gina, I
appreciate
love
that.
her. And my Shay, I love my Shay.
No.
And
I
very
love you
supportive.
too, Gina.
And that's again having people that you can network with and having people with abilities that you can actually network with. Here's a perfect situation. You do have Janie. When we do these lives, we do throw up about abilities in it and not about it. Look, there's fake people in everything. There's fake people that are going to go ahead and they're
Oh my
carnies.
God, there's fake people
They
in
can read you.
relationships. How many people get married and
mean-
find out years later their husband had a completely separate life?
Right.
Come on.
I mean, there's people that can. In what you're looking for, if you're looking for somebody who has abilities, is if they have to ask you for all your information, there's a problem. Okay,
Probably so.
Janie, what information do you get from me when you're going to do a read on anybody?
None. None. Usually I get a first name only because I asked for it and I don't want to be rude calling them sugar. And I get their phone number. And usually he'll say, this is what time they're available.
Yes,
That's
That's
so
it.
cool.
that's it. That's all.
Miss
that's all
Amber,
we
that
get.
was so much fun. I would love to come out and investigate with you guys again.
We are actually talking to them about doing an investigation, and which I'll let you
Oh,
guys
I would
know
love
when we get a
that.
little
I
bit
had
closer.
such a good
And
time
where's this?
investigating with
Where's that
Amber
at?
and her mom.
Amber is with Grounded Paranormal,
Okay.
New York team, which
Very
is
cool.
again we like to network with people, and it's
Yeah.
very, very important. Charles, thanks for jumping on with us, and just in case I didn't give you a shout out, thanks for being on.
It happens like that, Mr. Charles. It sure does. I tried for years to suppress mine, and it's meant to be yours. It's going to be yours. Unfortunately, they didn't give us a receipt so we can take it back.
It's hard if you try to hold it in. You're not doing yourself any favors, unfortunately. I know you guys are worried about ridicule. There are more and more people, and that's why we talk about it so much, because we want people to understand. Look, your path, your belief, your spiritual belief, as long as you're not hurting somebody.
Right.
what-
And holding it in can cause issues for
Yes.
yourself.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I mean, for so long, I felt like I was going to go crazy. I was just losing my mind. I seriously believe, now I'm not anywhere near the extent that I used to be when it comes to my OCD, but I am OCD. I have been medically diagnosed with OCD.
That's okay.
But I honestly believe that stems from me trying to hold my abilities back for so many years. Because for me, if I kept my brain occupied when I wasn't at work, kept it occupied all the time, then I didn't have to focus on these voices I heard and these people I saw. I could stay busy cleaning something or reorganizing something or
There you go.
rearranging
Makes
something
sense.
or,
That does. That
you
makes
know,
a
and
lot
I
of
think
sense.
that my insomnia stemmed from that because I can't tell you how many times I would go to bed and because I would push it away and suppress it during the day, it would come to me in my sleep, which would
Wow.
sometimes be horrific
yeah.
nightmares.
You're not getting any sleep
So
that
you
way.
just don't sleep. You
Right.
train your brain that if I don't go to sleep,
Wow.
I mean, even to this day now that I've learned to control it, Rob can tell you to this day, if I get 4 hours at night,
Yeah.
that's an excellent night's sleep for me.
Wow.
Yeah, the
that's
Energizer
terrible.
Bunny is awake again. Yay!
And I'm old. I shouldn't be having that kind of energy.
Everybody needs sleep.
You're right. You shouldn't. If I can figure out something to, trust me, I would. I'm getting a big cartoon hammer, putting it in the hallway. You know, the one that you go whack and knock the shit out of the person so they go to sleep. I really want to use it.
He
on
was
her
really
plenty of
glad I
times.
had all that energy this morning, though, when he came home starving.
Yes,
wasn't he?
amen. Yes, that was
I
a
did
good thing.
appreciate
I was like, guys, we have an hour before the
Oh.
live. I know you guys just
She takes care
did
of
a
us.
whole night investigation. Do
I
you want
mean,
something to
you're
eat? Rob
lucky.
was like,
You're
I was
lucky.
so thankful that
He
you would
was
say
so
that.
happy. She was, yeah, that was so sweet.
So
Whipped it out in no time.
Yeah,
no,
you
you
did.
did. You did. You
So
rocked
good.
on that. Take
So
your
good.
time getting to if you have abilities, you want to learn them. Quit worrying about titles. Take your time to learn.
Yeah.
Feel free to reach out. Look, everybody hits that hurdle of I can't quiet my mind. That is a normal, honest. I mean, how do you concentrate and get to that? People that are into art will
Thank
actually
you,
learn.
Laura. Thank you,
Yeah,
sweetheart.
that's so sweet.
People that are into art will find out because when you slip to the other side as you're being very artistic, you don't track time, and all of a sudden you're sketching for a little
That's
bit,
very
15
true.
minutes, and now it's already an hour and a half. That's your focus, and that's really what you're getting down to is you're learning to focus like that. But look, we all learn different ways, and that's okay. And the worst part is, especially some of you guys, your significant others, they don't even support you, and we get it.
No.
That happens. So it's really important. Again, I'm going right back to the networking. Hell, if she can reach out from South Africa, Chantel, thank you so much. If she can reach
So
out from
cool.
South Africa, and you don't reach out to anybody, shame on you because that you really need to. Don't hold it in. You
No.
don't have to be judged now.
Exactly.
I don't think people need to be so
And you
much
know
on
what?
judging one another.
I agree.
Adopt my attitude.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do. It wouldn't matter if you were a saint. People are still going to judge you.
Yeah.
Let them do them and you do you, baby.
Yep.
Don't worry about what everybody else thinks. They don't pay your bills. God ain't going to
Yep.
judge them on your behavior.
They're the
Trust
weirdos,
me.
not you.
That's it.
I mean,
You know what I mean? I mean,
It's very, and again, it doesn't even matter if you don't have abilities and it's just your method of investigating, but you
Yeah.
feel confident in it and that's what you want to do.
yeah.
Again, you're not hurting anybody. Your religion, don't care what anybody else's religion is.
Yeah.
Go with your own religion or not a religion, whatever. That's on you as long as
Exactly.
you don't hurt other people. That's all.
Exactly.
We have Kimpton Park.
Chantel, I
Hospital.
love you already.
Unfortunately, there's nothing you have to call yourself an investigator. There's really not, unfortunately. There should be.
There should be.
And it should start with integrity.
Yes,
And we know
absolutely.
there's a lot of people out there that do
The
not have
two things
integrity.
I think you have to have in this field, without a doubt, if you don't have anything else, I don't care if you don't even have a flashlight, you have to have integrity. You're only as good as your word. And you have to have the ability to be open-minded and to be willing to
Absolutely.
learn, because it doesn't matter if you've been doing it 2 years or 50 years. There is always something you can learn.
Yes.
Never be so closed-minded or so arrogant that you feel like you know everything, because trust me,
You don't.
you don't. And chances are you will never learn everything in your lifetime. There's so much to learn. So always be willing to learn. Always be willing to ask questions. Always be willing to try new things. And don't ever go into anything without integrity. And with some of the things that Rob and I have dealt with, you also have to have faith. Faith in something.
Oh yeah.
You have to have faith in something.
You
What's the
better.
country song? You got to stand for something. You can fall for anything. So,
In going to faith real quick, that is my big cornerstone that I have by all means. So I'll deal with anything. I don't care if we get in any situation because I really have it. Janie has faith that I've got her back. I mean, and that's what makes a real winning
yes,
situation.
I was just telling Kim this last night. I was like, my husband is so on board with all of this.
I love that.
He supports me 150% with anything and everything that I do with these abilities, whether it be an investigation, a phone reading, an in-person reading, an
That's
impromptu
so
walk
awesome.
up to somebody in the grocery store reading. He will always be my biggest fan.
That's not supposed to
But
be.
when it comes to the paranormal, when we're on location or he knows we're dealing with something negative, my husband also knows that Rob is the one that's going to protect me there. Sean can protect me from the living, but he doesn't have the knowledge about the paranormal or the experience that Rob has. So many times he's told me on investigation, you make sure you stick with Rob
No,
because
yep.
he knows
We've
Rob's
had
going to have
some-
my back and look out for me.
That's awesome.
And I know that, which people say, how can you walk into that area if you can see it and you know it's there?
Right.
Because I now,
You got
after
him.
7 years, have 150% confidence that he's going to have my back no matter what goes down.
I
at
love that.
location.
We used to go to locations, especially when we first started, and she'd go, oh no, Rob, you don't understand. No, this thing's been here for hundreds of years. You ain't getting rid of it. Is that not true?
Absolutely.
You know, and knock on wood, fortunately, you know, through divine intervention, the people
Yeah.
don't have any more issues there.
Yeah.
And again,
Nice.
it wasn't just one or two times. And again, I didn't take offense to it. You have to build that rapport with one another,
Right.
that trust, that
Yeah.
crazy level of trust. Because we've
Yeah.
seen some incredible, she's been made to pass out. She stood up, took like 2 steps, and I said, I'm
Just
not
fell.
feeling. And
Yeah.
she was done.
That's awful.
And fortunately, her team member next to her, the smallest team member we had,
Poor little Lindsay, God love her. She grabbed hold of my big old butt and helped Sean drag me up the steps.
just before she hit the
Aw.
concrete floor.
Yeah.
I mean, if she didn't grab her, she would have knocked the concrete floor.
Yeah.
So we're very, 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 very lucky about that.
Very thankful for Lindsay. But again,
Thank God.
immediately when that happened, Rob was right there. I don't know who told him, who went and got him. He was in a different part of the building. But by the time I woke up in the parking lot, Rob was standing right in front of me. Are you okay? Are you okay?
No.
Wake up. Tell me what you
Yep.
felt. What's going on?
Like,
But
let me
after
know.
7 years of that, I have learned that I can depend on Rob when
That's
it comes to the
amazing.
paranormal. Or now we're like brother and sister. I
Yeah.
mean, I love
Yeah,
this
And that's
man.
everything.
I love
That's
him just like I
everything.
do mine. I would hurt somebody over him.
Well, yeah.
Trust me when I tell you that. But after 7 years, I've learned that I can depend on Rob or Sean for anything.
No,
She's
that's
usually
good.
hurting me over me. You hear that? Whack. Oh, last night, here we go. All of a sudden, here she starts pulling a Janie, and she's like, "You don't hear that? Are you
Oh, my-
serious?"
Thank you,
He
Kim.
said,
I'm not
I'm
the
like,
only
I'm
one.
hearing it. I'm like, I know how she feels now.
I told you.
She's like, "Are you serious? You cannot." I'm like,
I'm
"This sounds
literally- I'm
just
like,
like Janie."
And
It's
it
the sixth
sounds
time.
so
Yes, I'm like, it's
right,
right
there.
there.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
we never did get to the bottom of it, to be honest. But eventually he heard it, but it took like 6 or 7. And even then, you barely heard it.
Oh yeah, it
And
was.
I
it's
still don't
so
even know what we
faint.
heard.
Right.
But
Before she heard it,
he
before
couldn't
she
hear
But
was
he
it.
saying-
barely
Nothing.
heard it, and to you, it sounded very right there.
Right there.
Yep.
I'm like, what is this
Know the
noise?
feeling, girlfriend.
Oh my
Louisa,
word.
thanks for listening to us while you're sorting through the house. Appreciate that.
Thank you,
We
sweetheart.
Understand that so well right now. Trust us.
And thank you, Sandy. I've never heard anybody say that before. So thank you. I'm a teacher in the daytime, and I tell my kids to call me Mrs. D because of my last name. So that's pretty cool.
That is cool. Very cool.
We love Miss Sandy. She's been with us forever. She is a
No.
sweetheart.
The comment also, as far as about making sure the first thing to do is debunk, absolutely 100% agree with that. Is
Oh, yeah.
quit thinking everything is paranormal, and all
Unfortunately, it's not.
No, it's not.
and people
I
set other
wish.
people up so bad because they're already scared to death, and then the first thing they're doing is arguing about things being paranormal. And I guarantee you, 99% of the people that are doing that probably have not even been on an investigation in the first place.
Yeah.
Or they've gone on a ghost walk and now they're
Yeah.
an expert. It's like,
Oh,
And there's like a
geez.
fine line there too, because you have the people that everything they hear is paranormal.
Right.
And then you have the people that are actually experiencing paranormal, but they're like,
Am I?
just want you to
Because-
check it out because I'm not sure if that's what it is or not. I mean, it could have walked up and slapped them in the face and they're still not sure because
Don't you love that?
it's
Yes.
okay to be skeptic, but don't be so skeptical that you close your mind to
Oh, that's the worst.
what it could be.
That's the worst. And it's usually people like that it happens to the most, like you said.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, why can't that be me? And it's
Those are
happening to
usually
them,
the
and they don't
people that
even
are
care.
calling us after they say, "Oh, it's not paranormal. It's nothing to worry about."
Wait
Then you
a
get a call a
second.
month later. Hey, can you come do something?
I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in the paranormal shit, but I got a ghost in my house.
Yeah,
What?
I don't believe in the paranormal, but I think there's something in my house.
They are so worried about the scrutiny of how if actually saying that they believe. And
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I got
They,
it.
like I said,
Wow.
if you're somebody that is a true skeptic in abilities or in the paranormal, it wouldn't matter what evidence you get. You could have Abraham Lincoln as a ghost walk up and shake their hand, and they would still deny that it was paranormal
Yep.
because they're never going to want to admit that they were wrong.
Sandy,
So
you just
true.
have to go out with us sometime. You may, might give her a t-shirt that says bait, but it'd be good. You,
Bait.
We
come
will
out and
not
hang out
make
with
you
us.
bait Miss Sandy.
I love it. Oh, she wouldn't have liked to have been with us last
And
night.
we would
No.
never make you sit in the dark, sweetheart.
We were in pitch
Not
black.
by yourself anyway.
Oh, so
No, we seriously, when we go to locations, and especially if we have a group, we don't have to investigate in the dark. Okay, you really
Right.
don't.
You don't know. You
Anybody
don't.
tells you have to investigate in the dark is full of themselves. Okay, light anomalies are a lot easier to see in the dark, and it does happen. You can get these little pin lights, you can get these flashes, you can get that, and usually in the evening time when it is dark, usually the environment is quieter. The dogs aren't barking nearly as much. There's not nearly as much traffic, and there's not nearly many people talking. Other than that, if we have a group and there's a couple of people who might be a little bit nervous, we try to put them in the same group. That way, if we want to, we go ahead and turn the lights back on or turn a light on so that there's some light in there. It doesn't have to be, because realistically, most of the time, we're just scaring the hell out of ourselves at that
Miss
point.
Ann, whatever works for you, sweetheart. We found that sage works. I mean, we've
Just
proven
works.
it time and time again that sage works. But whatever you feel works for you, if you're getting great results by using lavender or bay leaves, do you, baby?
And I do know a couple people who absolutely swear by the bay leaves.
Yep.
By far. And
I do too.
people will ask me to change my routine. I won't change the routine. I do use the white sage. And again, you have people that said, I love these other people. You're not allowed to buy sage if you're going to go ahead and use it for cleansing. Really? Show me somebody that's going to send me,
Yeah.
I don't know, a few hundred sticks a year, because we go through a lot, because I send a lot out.
Oh my
to people and
goodness,
whatnot.
yes. We probably go through a truckload a year.
bet.
We go through a
Easy.
whole
I
lot.
bet.
But people say, hey, you can't go ahead and you can't use it because the person who put it together has to have happy thoughts. You haven't had happy thoughts, are collecting my money. And you can't buy it.
Frankincense I have used before on investigation, not me myself personally, but the team that I did a couple of investigations with out in Ohio. They used frankincense, and I know because I can see spirit that when they did that, the spirit did leave. Did it stay gone? I don't know. I didn't stay with the team long enough to follow up, but they did use
Sandy.
frankincense.
Oh, she's killing me. Most of it is, honestly, I know we're a little bit past time. Most of it's your intent. Okay, that's really the bigger factor. When we have things that you're seeing, that's more for the people that are there, the living, than it is
Chantel,
for,
God bless you. She has the best personality. I
She
think I would
does.
love
than
her.
for those on the
She's
other
a
side.
teacher
There's a
too.
lot more
She
that's
does
going on when you're
horseback
going to saging. A lot of people do a cleansing, and they do it like Harry Potter. They get their little sage or their lavender or whatever. And I'm not saying it's you in particular that I'm talking to.
Right.
I'm telling you. Somebody will take a little punk scent of frankincense and go, ooh, like they're Harry Potter, and everything's gone. No, it doesn't work that way.
Don't work
Sorry.
that way. It doesn't.
Fortunately.
When we
Somebody
do a
comes in-
sage, that house looks like it's on fire. There's
somebody
so
comes
much
in and-
smoke coming out windows and doors and
It
garages.
is.
It's amazing.
It's rolling. It
I'm
rolls.
not kidding you. You smell it on your clothes for like the next day. If you come
That
home
is
and put the
amazing.
clothes in the laundry,
Yeah,
you walk in the
it's still
bathroom by the
there.
laundry basket, you still smell it.
Wow. You've been saged.
If,
Yes.
if you have not set off any active smoke
Uh-huh.
alarms, you have not saged. Okay. If you're not saging
love
under
it.
the bed, at the bottom of the
The
That's a
closet,
neighbors
good
don't
way.
come over and ask if there's a
Is everything
fire. You're
okay?
not
there
saying.
you go. Because we've had that. We've had neighbors come check to make
Yes.
sure what the hell's going on.
Hey,
because
what's all the
that's
smoke
coming
for?
out.
Everything okay over here? Yeah, we're chasing off a ghost. You want him at your house?
The dining room table. When's the last time you get down on your knees and actually put the sage smoke up under the
And
table?
when I mean
Oh,
every
wow.
cupboard, I mean, I usually, if I'm with Rob, I'll walk ahead of him from room to room, and I open every door, every cabinet, every closet, every drawer, anything under the bed, I'll pull it out of the way so he can get under there. I mean, every crack and cranny of that location is saged.
That's so good.
Everywhere.
and it's not only the living areas. Do you
No,
have
it's
an attic?
everywhere.
Do you have a basement?
Oh,
Guess
yeah.
what?
Better get those.
If not, what happens is, in this, you'll hear it so often, people go, well, we saged and everything got quiet for a few days, and then all of a sudden it came back worse.
They found
Yeah,
a place
no
to
kidding.
All
hide.
you did was push it to the garage. You should have kept going.
And that's exactly, you only did part of it. I use holy water, I use sage, and I use a particular prayer. And I'm also putting a barrier.
Yes,
up with
Bonnie,
holy
he
water.
does. She said, Rob makes your eyes water and need fog lights in the house.
I am so glad. I mean, Cheech Chong, eat your heart out, but I'm so glad it's not that, because I would never come down, because that, oh my God, you of all people, true story, I swear, where is it? I know it's down here.
The piece is over here. Give me a second, guys.
She had
This is just what's left of it after 7 years. This thing was like 1.5 feet long.
Oh my god.
it was ungodly long. It was huge.
After
It's still
7
huge.
years.
After 7 years, it's still this big. And this is my
That's
coffee
amazing.
cup, just to give you
That is
an
amazing.
idea. And this is
Holy
after
crap.
7 years of using it.
Where did you get that?
I bought this in Arizona.
Holy
Now
crap.
that's the one we had a show. We had a location we called. The
This
Devil
one's
House.
actually, you would think after 7 years, it would be stale and the strength of it would be
Yeah.
gone.
Is that the one you were going
not
up
at
the?
all.
That's the
I love
same
that
one we
smell.
used at the
I
Devil
love
We
it.
House.
have a location just so everybody has a clue of what can actually happen. What happens? Sorry,
Go ahead.
No,
in
you're
front of
fine.
you.
Smells so
You light
good.
it, you catch it
Yeah.
on fire, you wait till it gets on fire, you blow it out, and now the embers are nice and orange. And you the whole idea is to get the whole head of it really burning well.
Right, so that the smoke is rolling.
And I'm not, again, it's not Harry Potter. You go, and you're done. It doesn't work that way. We're literally blowing on this stuff, and really, it looks like a dragon breath almost. I mean, it's like this smoke cloud.
Smoke, yeah, and
just
it's
constant.
big. It's
You're
like
just
this
blowing
big
it.
around, so it's really bellowing a
Holy
stream of smoke.
We were pushing, I had you and Laura, I believe it was.
Uh-huh.
They were coming, I was pushing the negative energy up to the attic. That's where we wanted to deal with it at. And so I had them sage the lower floors. And as they're coming up, they get to the attic floor. And this thing is just, I mean, we could smell the sage coming
Yeah.
through the floor before they even got to the room. And as they start to come up the steps,
Just the embers went completely black. It
That's
went completely out. No
insane.
more smoke.
No.
Nothing.
so
Love it.
I know you can sit there and say, oh, something can't happen. That literally happened just like that.
Yeah,
Before
Not a
sure
they,
did.
coincidence.
before they could get to the attic, it was gone.
Yep.
Having it.
Yeah, that was the house that had the pentagram drawn on the.
You can't get back there, right?
Attic
That's the
floor.
one they sold, or
Oh, it's been
what
sold so
happened?
many times.
What
Yeah.
the hell? I just hit. Sorry, guys. Bear with me.
Wow.
Not good to have that up.
He told me about that house, and I'm like, "Can we go?" But I'm also like standoffish because it sounds
All right.
pretty
Somebody's got
horrible.
to do this one from. I want this. Oh God, I want to pronounce your name right. I am so sorry.
Shirt here.
Heribart. If I said your last name wrong,
I'm
so
just gonna
sorry.
call you Sugar because I don't want to mutilate your name. But hi, from Holland. Oh, how amazing!
That is so cool.
Horses are my meditation, and you have to find that. You find what's good for you. From Holland, I think that's fantastic. What is your best ghost box answer you got during it? Oh my God, we have so many. You were listing some of our.
I got a little taste.
We
yes.
use the SB7. I'm really big on the SB7, and again, it's a matter you got to be able to use it right. I don't like things that have pre-programmed words into it, so we are looking for. We've got an array of stuff up there.
Oh, you just
The dead
believe
demon
it.
coming. Rob, please help us. My specific name over and 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 over again. Janie, she goes by Janie. She has asked multiple times now. She'll say, "Hey, tell me what my name is," and you'll hear Anna. Her actual name,
Which is
Anna.
my legal name. Janie is a nickname. My name's Anna
Wow.
Jane, and I have family that call me AJ, and I have the rest of the family that all call me Janie. Nobody ever calls me Anna. I only use that name on legal documents because I don't like it, so I only use it when I have to. So nobody knows that. Rob didn't know that was my legal
I
name
didn't
for
know that.
years.
I didn't even know when she asked the question. Quite honestly.
Yeah.
That's really cool, and that's the type of evidence we're looking for. We're looking for specific responses. So when somebody says, "Hey, the camera's down," and they get the batteries are dead through the piece of equipment, that's cool. That is really cool. That's what you're looking for.
Chantel, just to go to Chantel for a second, she says horses are my meditating medium.
She never
I
listens to me.
absolutely love that because I think that animals can help you to get to that
Absolutely.
meditative state. I love that.
Horses are awesome.
Yep.
Do you mix anything with sage? I heard that sage is a base and it's good to mix other things with sweetgrass, lavender. I used to, originally when I started, I used to actually do that. I mixed a little bit of everything in it, including cedar as well. No, my best results, I go, and again, if you survive the smoke doing it.
And when he says results, he's not just saying that his medium knows that it's gone, so it's gone. We have a client that is complaining of, you would not believe some of the things that they complain of in their home. And then right after he does the cleansing and he talks to the client weeks later or months later, or even a year later, never had any more activity after that. So that in and of itself is proof that what he did worked. They had all this activity for months or weeks or even years before he did the saging. And then after the cleansing, you talk to these people, or he always follows up with clients, always. And miraculously, hey, I haven't heard anything else. I feel so comfortable in my home. The air feels lighter. My kids are sleeping better. That for me is all the proof you need.
Amen.
I don't go by how they're feeling just once we leave. You still have to stay in contact. I have a two-week window, and I know if within 2 weeks, if they don't have any activity, as long as they don't bring
I will,
it back,
Bonnie.
if they don't bring activity back, which means to invite, means if they start investigating their own home, then they're on their own, because if they leave it alone, it's gone.
Yeah.
And go take a step farther. And again, this is divine intervention. It's not me per se. It's no different than her channeling information.
He's simply
from
the
other side.
conduit.
I'm causing the squeaky wheel, and I'm trying to get the grease to the wheel in a matter of speech, if that makes sense. There have been dogs, animals that are supposedly suffering from cancer, haven't eaten in a week, won't come out of their kennel, whatever. I treat them while I'm at it. I use holy water on them, and I even say to them at the same time, and I'll work through there. And the next day when I check on them, they're perfectly fine, eating, not a problem, and they don't hide in their kennel anymore. They're perfectly fine. So if the animals are okay with it, that's a pretty good indicator.
Like cured or just coming out
cured.
Because it's positive?
Some have no more issues whatsoever, and I don't know how that happens. Because I'll do the same thing and put the sign of the cross on them with holy water, and their dog's perfectly fine the next day. And it's like I don't know what to do.
Like, oh my God, he has
maybe they were lying to me the whole time, but it's not one site. It's not one location. This happens
multiple times.
Amazing.
Guys, listen, I love everybody, but I really have to go. Thank you for joining us. Please join again next Sunday, and I'm out.
See you. Bye. For those that have kids, making monster spray is a real big deal also, just to throw it out there. It's not my phrase for it. I love the phrase called monster spray, but you can put mixed holy water in there and actually get a spray, some type of spray bottle or even a squirt gun, and you empower that child who is a little scared about sleeping in their room because of the boogeyman or whatever.
Yes.
And you got to tell them it's your room. You're the boss of your room. I'm throwing this really quick. I apologize, but I want you guys to hear this. If they're scared of the room, you empower them and say, look, you just tell anything you don't like has to leave because you're the boss of your room. If they don't leave, you just spray them with the monster spray one time and they'll be instantly gone. And it's amazing how many children have taken back their room. But you say, look, this is all you got. So you can't just go around squirting the whole house, because the last thing you want to do is come in the room and see all the paint running. And it's worked out really, really super well for the people that have used it.
That's a great idea.
There you go. Sandy makes monster spray for her son when he was little. I love the phrase, and it's fantastic.
I do too.
Kimberly, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And I hope to have you on more.
Absolutely. I'd love
this has
to.
been a blast having you with us by far. So
thank you.
We will talk more directly about you and try to find out some more information.
I love it. Let's do it.
We definitely are going to be networking a lot more with Kimberly. So you will see her hanging out with us, doing more investigations.
Can't wait.
For everybody who was on, thank you so much. Love and light to everybody. I can't say enough. Thank you. Thank you guys. Have an awesome Sunday. Talk to you.
That was fun.